Sandbox MMA fans, UFC Fight Night, Borralho versus Cannonier was last night, and overall the card was awesome. Like, crazy finishes, crazy fights, absolute wars. There were like 3, 4 different fights you can give fight of the night. It obviously went to the main event. It was an absolute banger of a fight, but this card absolutely delivered. It over-delivered in terms of what I thought it was going to be, in terms of what a lot of people thought it was going to be. UFC kind of threw shit on a card, and it actually worked out. Good matchup. So, kudos to them. They get a little free pass. I went 8-3 on the card, and overall my predictions are now 223 and 132, so just right around 63%. Let's not drag this along. Let's get right into it. Starting with the first fight of the night, Wang Cong versus Victoria Leonardo. This one should be quick because Wang Cong took care of business quick. 1-2 down the pipe, knocked out Victoria Leonardo. This is the same prospect that walked out dressed as the Joker to weigh-ins, or not weigh-ins, the ceremonial face-offs or whatever. Yeah, she just goes out there, leg kicks, and then throws a 1-2 down the middle and just starches Victoria Leonardo. Now, we know Victoria Leonardo is shit. But she just got put out cold by Wang Cong. And Wang Cong looks fast, agile, athletic, quick 1-2 down the middle. This is a prospect that I'm excited about. I'm actually excited about this. Let's give her another tomato can, let her get another sick knockout, and then we can continue to build her up these rankings. So, Wang Cong, sick performance, legit prospect to look out for at flyweight. I can't believe I'm saying that. Jacqueline Cavalcanti versus Josiane Nunes. I thought Jacqueline Cavalcanti won this fight clearly, 30-27. I don't think that Josiane Nunes won a round. One of the judges thought Josiane Nunes won every round. He should be fired. Ron McCarthy is his name. Go destroy his social media. Go send him shitty mail. Like, I don't know, dude. This dude fucking sucks at judging. He also fucked up another scorecard tonight. But I thought Cavalcanti won very clearly. I think she just stayed on the outside, was able to circle right, so that way circle to her left, so Josiane Nunes couldn't land the big left hand. Josiane Nunes was incapable of following up with a right hand. If she threw the left hand and then the right hook behind it, she would have caught Cavalcanti with a powerful punch that could have knocked her down, especially given how hard Josiane Nunes hits, but she's not that intelligent. She's not that talented. She's not that skilled. She is just a meatball of muscle that likes to wing overhands. This judge that scored a 30-27 to her is fucking insane. Insane. She didn't win a round. She got her legs beat up the whole time. She got peppered in the face. Jacqueline Cavalcanti did a really good job countering Josiane Nunes and just landing good low kicks to disrupt her rhythm. Again, the circling out was the story of this. Like, Josiane Nunes just couldn't find a way to track her down, and Cavalcanti just let it go for quite some time, was just letting the hands go, did a really, really good job here. Next up on the card, James Lyontop versus Slava Claus. Slava Claus won this fight 29-28, possibly 30-27. I actually think it was 30-27. I still think he won every round. What we need to stop doing is seeing how bad someone gets beat up in earlier rounds, and then they all of a sudden have a good round, and we go, oh, that was their best round, let's just give it to them. Just because it was their best round doesn't mean it won them the round. To win the round, you still need to win the round. You don't get to just have a better round than you've had so far in the fight, so you get that round because I guess it was a little bit closer than the other ones. Like, it doesn't go that way because then you get incorrect scorecards here. 29-28 Lyontop is retarded. I shouldn't be saying that on YouTube, but it is what it is. It's a dumb, stupid scorecard. Slava won that 29-28, 30-27 is honestly my scorecard. He goes out there, and this went exactly how I thought. If it's going to be a kickboxing match, no one's going to beat Slava Claus, dude. He's so good at kickboxing purely. Lands good low kicks, lands good body kicks, was throwing him up high, his boxing combinations were good, his slips were insane, he was countering perfectly. Dude, I don't understand, man. And then we get to the first round, I think it was the first round where James Lyontop eye-poked Slava and then throws a punch like 3 seconds after because Chris Tognoni, the official, is too fat, slow, and geriatric to get over to stop the fight or to put a pause in the action. Dude, like, someone's going to get seriously hurt in this octagon. Chris Tognoni is just sitting there, fat, old, and overweight, and unable to get into the fight. It looks like if he dives in there to try and break it up, he's going to fall apart. We need legitimate, athletic people in there as officials. We can't have these fat, old men in there that aren't going to be able to stop a fight. These are people's lives on the line in the fucking octagon, and Chris Tognoni's sitting there with his thumb up his ass. It's stupid. Lyontop gets an eye poke, Doesn't get a point deducted, which I agree. It was completely unintentional. It was his first foul of the fight. And then he lands a punch after that. That's on Tagnoni is more than it is Lion Top. Lion Top wasn't stopped because the official was too fat and slow to get in there. So, Lion Top's durable as well. I thought he did have a really slow two. Like, Slava was super quick, and Lion Top would, like, throw his jab and then throw a really slow looping overhand right. Now, it wasn't the slowest. We'll get to that in the next fight because Jose Medina is a fat, overweight dude as well. He's literally a fat lightweight. It's insane. But yeah, I mean, Lion Top, durable. What were some of the other notes that I took down? Slava was seeing everything, slipping perfectly, countering perfectly, and he wins the fight very clearly. Great performance from Slava. Thought he could have gotten a finish, but James Lion Top is fucking tough as nails. So we move on. Zachary Reese, Jose Medina. Jose Medina is so bad, dude. I don't get how he's in the UFC. I don't get how the UFC took this long to sign, like, Jordan Vucenic, and they've had Jose Medina in the UFC now for almost a year. I don't get it. Jose Medina's terrible. He doesn't throw anything powerful of significance. He just smiles and laughs off, acted like he went to war. Dude, you took a beating for 3 rounds. And the only reason you didn't get finished is because Zachary Reese is too jacked up that he doesn't have the gas tank to get a fight finish at the end of the fight. He was landing sick body kicks. Didn't really mix him up top, which I would have liked to see a lot more. I think he would have had a lot of success there, but he was getting his takedowns. He was landing great, powerful punches. Again, not crazy technique, and it's not like he was throwing them like... The combinations weren't fast. The punches individually were pretty fast, but the combinations were not fast, and he was kind of just teeing off against Jose Medina the whole fight. When they were against the cage, he was teeing off with the hands. When they were at range, he was teeing off with the liver kick. And Jose Medina looked like he wanted to quit, but then all of a sudden he would just like smile and like point to the ground and not throw anything. Let's make a rule. You don't point to the ground if you're not fucking Max Holloway. How about that? That's Max Holloway's thing because he goes in there and he bangs. Jose Medina, you're just a fat lightweight who has zero talent, zero skill, and acted like you survived the fight, so you gritted down and you go, oh yeah, dude, I'm tough, I'm that dude. I survived Zachary Reese. Get the fuck out of here, dude. Jose Medina pissed me off that whole fight, and I picked Zachary Reese. He was a minus 900 favorite, he was supposed to, but watching the antics and how dumb and lame Jose Medina looked in the cage pissed me off the whole time. Great win from Zachary Reese. It was just a beatdown for 3 rounds. Nothing to be happy about if you're Jose Medina. Should have been 30-26, by the way. Just saying. 30-26 is the score grid. Dennis Buzukja versus Francis Marshall. Okay, 30-27 Francis Marshall is dumb. Again, a wrong scorecard. It should have been 29-28 Francis Marshall very clearly. First round, Francis Marshall stalls it out against the cage, getting back control over Dennis Buzukja. Very, very easy round to score. Round 2, Francis Marshall gets a knockdown early. Buzukja looked hurt, wobbled, and he looked like he was hurt for like 2.5 minutes after that knockdown, but he stayed in it long enough to be able to land his own offense in the end of round 2 and was really starting to put things together, looked better than Francis Marshall at the end of round 2. Then round 3 comes around, and he looks better than Francis Marshall again. He's landing really good overhands. Really, really good overhands. Landing a good one, too. Landing his good lead hook. And he was tagging Francis Marshall like a lot. He wins round 3, but he loses the fight because he got knocked down in round 2. That knockdown doesn't happen. He wins 29-28, but the knockdown did happen. He clearly lost 29-28. But Buzukja showed that he's pretty good, dude. Like, he's not a bad fighter. He just got stalled out in round 1, got knocked down early in round 2, almost knocked out. But he survived, and he looked so much better once he got his wits about him. It just was a struggle for him to start. Francis Marshall, very intelligent to get him thinking about takedowns early. So that way, when he goes out there in round 2, he has the ability to land with his hands. Good performance from Francis Marshall. Looked technical. He's young. He's 25. He's getting better in each fight. He finally gets his win in the UFC. Dennis Buzukja, again, I think he's pretty solid. I would have liked to see him be better at stopping Francis Marshall from going to the back, especially having Aljamain Sterling in your corner training with you when you're both actually featherweights. But at the end of the day, good performance from Francis Marshall. This is the first fight I got wrong on the card. What do you know? It was an underdog. The underdog I didn't pick. Unintelligent. Stupid. Dumb. Edmund Shabazian lost. Really wanted him to win. I'm getting sick of GM3, like, ruining my picks, man. Like, he's not that good. He just is, again, doing the GM3 thing where takes a beating, survives, gets a submission. It's fucking annoying. Like, really fucking annoying. Shabazian beat the fuck out of him for the first round. Landed good body kicks. Landed really good 1-1-2, or like with a double jab to the head. Landed a good body shot with his 2 to the body was really good. Would have liked to seen some more low kicks on Mearshart there, but Mearshart landed some good kicks of his own. Not necessarily the low kicks that were that low kick. He had like 1 or 2 good ones, but he landed a couple of good body kicks. And Edmund Shabazian knocks him down clean in round 2, and Edmund Shabazian goes into his guard, plays the game for like a minute, ends up getting back to the feet. They go to the feet. Gerald Mearshart ends up getting it back to the ground and gets a submission. Good win from Mearshart. I almost knew it was going to happen as the fight was kind of turning that way. I was trying to bet on Gerald Mearshart live, but the odds for FanDuel just weren't working because it was in the middle of the fight. And I would have won if I did that, but I didn't. Anyway, great performance from not great performance. It's the typical Gerald Mearshart performance. He got his ass beat, and then he got a comeback choke. So, good win from Gerald Mearshart. Edmund Shabazian, man, like, what are we doing? We're trying to revamp this career here. They're giving you guys that you can knock out. You got to be smarter. You got to be better. You do. And I think he's still like 26, 27 years old. So he's still getting better, still improving. But like, and it looked that way, like in his takedown defense. And the fact they didn't get subbed immediately. But once he got tired, like the gas tank is an issue. He got tired, and that's when Gerald Mearshart was able to pass over to past the hips of Gerald Mearshart so that way he could lock up that arm triangle tight. Shabazian was just too tired to fight the pass. So, at the end of the day, the win for Mearshart came in. Shabazian, dude, like, back to the drawing board we go again. It's annoying. I don't know, that one really fucking annoyed me. That one really sucked the life out of me in this fight. But anyway, Michael Morales got it right back because Michael Morales looked fucking great. Again, took a little too long to get out of the clinch position, if I'm being honest. But he did get out, and the way he did it, he spun elbow, knocked out Neil Magny. Now, he didn't flush knock him out. He had to land ground and pound after and really finish the fight by having good transitions, being able to get to the back when Magny was trying to push off the cage. But he ends up getting good ground and pound, gets a good win. Now, Michael Morales landed about 3 low kicks. It says 4, but I counted 3 low kicks, 3 really good ones, and Magny was done. Like, done standing on that leg. He doesn't know how to defend the low kicks, and Morales hit him 3 times and just cooked it. Magny shoots for the takedown, ends up getting the fight against the clinch. Michael Morales takes about 2 minutes or so, 2.5 minutes, to just get the arms apart and get that spinning elbow off of the break, which was sick. Lands right on the temple, knocks down Neil Magny, and he finishes it with ground and pound. Great work from Michael Morales, and great scramble to be able to stay in a dominant position, transitioning from guard to mount to the back, flattening out the back, and then landing the final ground and pound on Neil Magny. Great performance from Michael Morales. Coming to a rankings near you. Very, very excited to see what's up with him coming forward. The featherweight Michael Morales, Myron Santos, looked really, really good as well. Con Offley just isn't that good. Like, I think he's pretty tough. It's tough to say because, first of all, they're on The Ultimate Fighter, and he got knocked out. But Myron Santos looked really good. Really good low kicks. They were strong, powerful low kicks, and then was just doing great job shot selecting. He couldn't miss with the jab. He was following with the 1-2. And in round 1, Con Offley was trying to get some control time against the cage, and he did have it, but he wasn't really doing much with it. Myron Santos was able to eventually separate, and he was just landing better shots. Just picking apart Con Offley. We get to round 2. Con Offley realizes he's losing this fight, so he tries to make something happen by rushing in. And Myron Santos kind of just sits down on a 2 and follows up with the left hook and just starched Con Offley. Awfully tough knockout to see, but Myron Santos hit that left hook perfectly, and he had Con Offley just frozen there on one knee on the ground, not seeing anything. Again, dude, we got Dan Murgliata too slow to getting in there to stop it. Myron Santos has to land 2 more, 1, 2, while he is, or Santos lands him on Offley, while Offley is clearly out. It's just tough to see, dude. Like, these refs got to get there and start saving some lives. But great performance from Myron Santos. Holy shit, he looked really good. This is a legit prospect. He's 24 years old. Slick striking. They keep calling him Anderson Silva, dude. He seems more like a Michael Morales to me. So, good performance from Myron Santos. Also a super frustrating fight to watch because this was literally just watching, like, Ryan Loder shoot takedown, get reversed by Valentin. Valentin had his arm in I don't know if it was an omoplata or what the fuck the position was, but in some bad shape. He had this arm in bad shape, and he just toughed through it, possibly breaking his arm, maybe busting a tendon or something like that, because they're icing it in the corner after, but really good job, like, toughing out of that, getting to dominant position, flattening out Ryan Loder twice in the fight, and instead of landing, I would have liked to see him land ground and pound when he had him flattened out, because I think that would have done the job, but again, hindsight's 20/20 here. He was trying to go for rear naked chokes, almost got him. He legitimately almost got him multiple times, but it wasn't quite under the chin. Ryan Loder was able to survive it, so again, good toughness by Ryan Loder, but I give Valentin the round based off of how close those two submissions were and how his control just looked better in the first round. It was more dominant, and he had serious threatening submissions on top of the fact that he landed a really good strike before the takedown landed. So, from Loder, Valentin landed the good strikes before a takedown was landed by Loder. But round 2 comes around, and Ryan Loder immediately shoots, gets takedown, gets to crucifix, and just continues to land elbows in the crucifix position, ending the fight because there was nowhere for Valentin to go. He tried very hard to get out of that position. He just couldn't do it. I would have liked to see him try and push off the cage harder, but Ryan Loder's control is really good. He's a D1 wrestler, boring fight style. He's 33 years old. Don't know what his career is going to look like here in the UFC being that old, but at the end of the day, good performance from Loder, got the win. And I predicted that one right. That was an underdog that I got right. So, yeah, dude, the only ones I've gotten wrong on this card so far are Bazookia and Edmund Shabazian. Let's get to another one that I got wrong. Underdog pick that I got right. You know what? Fuck you guys. I got this one right. This is 29-28 Angela Hill. She won rounds 2 and 3. She landed more. She landed better. Barely better. But neither of them really landed much better than the other, but Angela Hill was more accurate. She was mixing it up more, to the body really well. Tabitha Ricci was headhunting, not landing anything of impact, then would get clinch time. But, dude, I don't think Tabitha Ricci won this fight. It was close, but Angela Hill landed more. They're landing with same impact on every shot. Angela Hill's the one mixing it up. She's throwing more kicks. Dude, I just thought Angela Hill won the fight, and I thought she won it off of volume. I did. I don't think Tabitha Ricci did anything, but you know the thing. Tabitha Ricci makes that ass bounce, and the judges love themselves from Tabitha Ricci. Dana White also loves himself from Callum Walsh, and she's dating Callum Walsh, so you almost knew the decision was going to go this way, and I told you guys, Angela Hill, on the optics, is going to win this fight, but the judges are going to give it to Tabitha Ricci, and that's exactly what happened. So, we're not giving this fight any more attention. Again, I get it wrong, so instead of going 9-2, I go 8-3 in the card, but fuck that, because I got it right. Main event. One of the better main events of the year. This fight was fucking awesome, dude. Jared Cannonier versus Caio Borralho. Caio Borralho wins this fight. The right scorecard, I think, is 48-46. I think that round 1 went to Caio. Clearly, just dominating the distance. Had a really good jab to start off the fight. That power jab is something nice. He's landing it. It's stiff. He's using his range well. And then he would, switch stances, blast a, really good low kick. One of the things that I don't like that Caio Borralho does in this fight, and that I'm seeing a lot of the fighting nerds do, especially Gene Silva, not really Pratas, but Gene Silva does it a lot too. Middle of the fight, they, stop the fight on their own accord and go, dap people up, and laugh and go, oh, nice hit, high five, instead of you continuing your combination. Dude, if I'm fighting one of them, the second one of them go for, a high five that is, literally in the middle of the fight when there's nothing worthy of a high five, I'm throwing a combination. I'm trying to get the knockout in that moment. I just don't get why they do that. But at the end of the day, Caio Borralho wins round 1. Round 2, Jared Cannonier bounces back, has a really good round. I think wins round 2 based off of damage, landing the better shots, mixes in his own low kicks. Round 3, Caio Borralho bounces right back. lands a really, really good 1-2 that wobbles Cannonier. He had Jared Cannonier hurt in that third round. And again, dude, he's like switching stances, landing the low kick, going back. So when he would be southpaw, he'd land great punches and then throw an occasional high kick. When he would go southpaw, he would land a like solid 2 for a punch, but he would also throw the low kick, throw the body kick. So when he's going to that orthodox stance, he likes to throw that kick lower to the body. When he's in that southpaw stance, he likes to use his punches more and throw that kick up high. So just something to keep an eye out on for Caio Borralho if he faces someone in the rankings that can kind of expose that or can address that, like in Israel Adesanya. But the problem is, Caio Borralho can probably bulldoze and take down Israel Adesanya. Now, one thing that was cool is we saw Caio Borralho rely totally on his striking in this fight. Decided he didn't want to go to the round, wanted to test himself in the feet with Jared Cannonier, and I commend that. It made the fight awesome, a lot of fun, and it helped prove himself as a real prospect. If he went down there and crotch sniffed Jared Cannonier for 5 rounds, everyone would be hating on Caio Borralho. He wouldn't be getting any opportunities, and we'd be saying he wasn't that good. But he went out there, and he outstruck Jared Cannonier. That's crazy to think about. So round 2, the most significant portion of the fight is the 1-2 he lands that wobbles Jared Cannonier pretty bad. Now Cannonier gets his wits about him, stays in the fight, kind of goes against the cage, starts winging hooks, but Caio Borralho is doing a good job shot selecting. That jab is again dictating this fight, and now he's starting to land off of that jab and the low kicks. Round 4 comes around. This is the closest round of the fight to me. Could have gone either way. I did score at Jared Cannonier just based off of a little bit more damage. I just thought he was landing good combinations. And when Jared would land, he would land really well on southpaw, leading with his hook or throwing the 2 and following up with a hook. So that was just something interesting to see, that Jared Cannonier would switch stances with Borralho and was starting to see some success there. Good round for Cannonier. Round 5 comes around. Caio Borralho just beats the piss out of Jared Cannonier the whole time. Landing really good jabs. Went out there with a sense of urgency and saying, hey man, it's probably 2-2. You got to go out there and win this round if you want to win the fight. He goes out there and he wins the round and he wins it dominantly. He feint shoots a takedown, which everyone's saying, oh, like he didn't shoot a takedown till late. Like, what's good with Caio Borralho? It's like, I think he just wanted to prove his striking to everybody. I think he still can grapple. He didn't get the takedown on Jared Cannonier. I don't think he was fully going for it, though. I think he was just trying to show Cannonier something different to open up his punches upstairs in that 5th round. And we saw when Caio Borralho got him against the cage, he didn't shoot the takedown. He stuck him with the jab and landed the 2 behind it and just put Jared Cannonier out on his feet. Jared Cannonier was out stiff as a board, looked like Ben Askren going to the ground. This guy was out cold. And Caio Borralho, and again, Chris Tognoni, too fucking late to jump in on it and stop the fight. No, it was Dan Miragliotta, too old and fat to jump in on it and stop the fight. Caio Borralho pounces on it first, lands insane ground and pound, wakes Jared Cannonier back up. Jared Cannonier survives, and the fight's over. Great win from Caio Borralho. A lot to look up to here. It's going to be ranked probably 5 in the rankings, and now you're looking at a Nasruddin Imavov versus Brendan Allen fight coming up in a month in France. You can be looking at the winner of that for Borralho. You could look at Borralho versus... I'm trying to think of who else like we can look at in the rankings here. You can have him look at like a Whitaker versus Hamzat loser. You can have him look at... Let's just check out these rankings really quick. And I'm going to do a matchmaking video for some of these guys. It's not going to be a long one because I don't think there's too many people I want to matchmake. But you can put him in there with a Vettori. Like, I think he beats the fuck out of Vettori too. So maybe you do Borralho versus Vettori, the 5 and the 6, or the 5 and the 7 guy. Because I think Vettori is going to go down still below Jared Cannonier. You could probably look at Borralho as the 5, Cannonier as the 6. Cannonier's not getting dropped all the way to the 12, guys. And then you have Vettori as the 7, you have Allen as the 8, and then Allen and Imavov at 4 and 8 will fight to figure it out. But that's going to be... I mean, there's some really fun things you can do with Caio Borralho now. And as far as Jared Cannonier goes, maybe the Costa fight. I think that's a good name matchup to get. But again, you're coming off 2 losses in a row now. Took a ton of damage against Caio Borralho. You literally went out. But that's a really good performance from Caio Borralho. Really good fight overall from Borralho and Jared Cannonier. This was the UFC reactions to the fight night between Borralho and Cannonier. The whole card again was awesome. Wang Cong. Wang Cong. That's what it was. It was Wang Cong as someone to look out for. Caio Borralho on the up and up. Tabitha Ricci's going to get a decision every time she wants it because of that booty. Hope you enjoyed the content. Please like and subscribe. And yeah, good fight night. Really good fight night.